If books could talk, today's conversation, what money can't buy. Let me ask you a question. If for $15,000 you could get your child into Harvard University, would you do it? Today we're talking directly about what money can't buy.
Guess how many people are already buying it?
What do you mean?
The US already has clear price tags. Harvard, donate $10 million and the likelihood of admission jumps to 90%.
Wow, just like that?
Well, wait till you hear this. A Chinese tycoon spent $6.5 million to buy his daughter into Stanford.
Isn't that a scam?
The middleman was the scammer, but the demand is real. The question is, if education can be bought and sold, does the degree still mean anything?
Sure, you can still get a job with it.
Let me rephrase. If you knew a workmate bought their degree, would you still respect him?
I'd probably respect him less.
Congratulations, you just discovered my secret. Some things, once they can be bought, become worthless.
Wait, are you saying money makes things lose value?
It doesn't just devalue, it corrodes. Like salt melting ice, money dissolves the essence of some things.
Give me an example.
There's a prison in the US where $82 a night gets you out of a cell and into a business suite.
You can upgrade your prison stay?
Clean bed, quiet area, no violent cellmates, just pay the fee.
Wait, isn't that a good thing? Rich people are comfortable, and the prison makes money.
But what about the meaning of punishment? The law used to affect everyone equally, but now it's become rich people suffer less.
Oh, that certainly seems wrong.
Because once justice has a price tag, it's no longer justice, it's a commodity.
Oh, I see. So you're against the market economy.
I am against market thinking invading everything. The market is a good tool, but using it in the wrong way degrades society.
How do you interpret that?
Well, would you purchase a friend?
Of course not.
Why not? Isn't it because that wouldn't be a true friend? Exactly. Friendship, once purchased with money, changes its nature.
Changes into what?
It becomes a transaction, and a transaction has no loyalty, only interests.
But friendship and education are different, aren't they? Education is a service.
Do you really think so? If teachers charged by the minute for class and students had to pay extra for questions, would that still be education?
Wouldn't that just be paid knowledge?
You see, even you know something is wrong because the core of education isn't merely the transfer of information, it's the cultivating of value. Education tells you what is right and what is important. But if everything can be bought, there is only one answer left. Money is the most important thing.
Wow, that logic is a bit brutal.
Something more brutal is coming. There's a law in the US that allows women receiving government benefits to be rewarded $300 for undergoing sterilization.
What? Getting paid to be sterilized?
Supporters say this reduces the number of children in poor families, which is good for society.
Sounds like... Wait, isn't that eugenics in disguise?
Ah, you caught on. Using money to induce the poor to give up their reproductive rights? Is this voluntary choice or economic coercion?
This is no longer a moral issue. It's a human rights issue.
So you understand, not all voluntary transactions are fair. When one party is poor to a certain extent, so-called free choice is a joke.
What about organ donation? Some say opening up organ sales can save more lives.
The classic debate. Some people say if the poor are willing to sell a kidney for money and the rich are willing to buy a kidney for a longer life, it's a win-win.
How would you refute that?
I don't refute it. I just ask one question. Have you ever seen a rich person sell a kidney?
Doesn't seem so.
So this is not a market. This is exploitation. The poor sell their bodies, the rich buy life. You call this a good transaction?
But they did get the money.
And then what? The money is spent, the kidney is gone, and they're still poor, but the rich person lived 10 years longer. Is that fair?
If you put it that way, The market certainly does amplify inequality.
It doesn't just amplify, it solidifies. When health, education, and justice can all be bought and sold, class mobility disappears.
Wait a minute. Isn't that too black and white? People earn money through their own hard work.
Good question. Here's a question. If a rich person hires 100 migrant workers to line up to schedule appointments at the hospital and then sells them at a high price, do you think that's reasonable?
Isn't that scalping?
Yes, but scalping is market economics. There is a demand, there is supply, the highest bidder wins.
But that prevents people who really need medical care from getting appointments.
So you found the problem again. When money dominates distribution, wants and needs get blurry. The desire of the rich outweigh the necessities of the poor.
Man, I really hadn't thought about it from that angle.
Because market thinking has a rhetorical trap. It turns all problems into efficiency problems, making you forget there are also problems of justice.
What is a rhetorical trap?
Well, for example, surrogacy. Some people say it's reproductive freedom. It's a woman's control over her own body.
Is there a problem with that statement?
Well, tell me, why are the clients usually rich and the surrogate mothers usually poor? Because the poor need money? You see, this is not freedom. This is a poverty-driven transaction. They choose surrogacy just like coal miners choose to go underground, not because they want to, but because they have no other choice.
Holy cow, that analogy is profound.
What the market is best at is packaging coercion as consent.
So, according to your logic, nothing can be bought?
I'm not saying nothing can be bought. I'm saying you need to distinguish what should be a market and what shouldn't.
How do you distinguish?
Ask yourself two questions. First, does this thing lose its original meaning once it's commercialized, like friendship, education?
Second, does this transaction harm the dignity of the vulnerable, like organ selling and surrogacy?
You're learning fast, but many people don't care. They only care about whether it's useful. That's because our society has adopted usefulness as the sole standard. Efficiency first, profit maximization, everything is tradable.
Isn't that what we want in a modern society?
That's why modern society treats children as consumer goods, education as investment, and love as resource matching.
That sounds pretty accurate.
Have you ever thought about why young people today are increasingly afraid to have children?
Because they can't afford to raise them.
Why can't they afford it? Because raising children has been calculated as a cost. School district housing, tutoring, extracurriculars, it starts at $282,000.
Isn't that just a fact?
It's a fact, but not the truth. When reproduction is simplified into an economic calculation, we lose the ability to discuss why we should have children.
Are you saying we shouldn't calculate the cost of raising children?
Not all value can be measured by money. The joy of watching a child grow up, the happiness of family life, how much are these things worth?
But those things are too abstract.
Abstract? Then I ask you, would you spend $100,000 to have your parents stay with you for 10 extra years?
I would definitely be willing.
You see, when truly important things are placed before you, you won't even talk about money because some things are priceless.
Oh, I understand. You're saying love and companionship are priceless.
Not just love, dignity, honor, justice, trust. These things cannot be measured by money.
But reality is just this cruel. You can't even talk about love without money.
So the question is, did poverty corrupt love or did we commercialize love?
Is there a difference?
Of course there is. If it's the former, what we should do is eliminate poverty. If it's the latter, what we should do is rebuild our values.
Your statement is too abstract.
Then let me be concise. When you go on a blind date and the first thing the other person asks is your monthly salary, how does that make you feel?
Uncomfortable. I feel like a commodity.
Exactly. Because people are not commodities and should not be priced. But today's dating market divides people into ranks with clear price tags.
But isn't this the law of the market? High-quality resources are scarce.
Listen to what you are saying. People have become resources, love has become a transaction, and marriage has become an investment. Is this still love?
So then, what should be done about it? Should dating completely ignore economic conditions?
I'm not saying don't consider them. I'm saying you can't only consider them. When money becomes the sole standard, all other qualities are ignored.
Such as?
Kindness, sincerity, sense of responsibility, shared values. How much are these things worth on the dating market? Everyone only looks at houses, cars, and cash. Therefore, the terrifying aspect of market logic is that it simplifies complex human relationships into a simple numerical game.
So, what is your solution?
Redraw the boundaries, define which areas should be market-led and which should be guided by morality, justice, and public interest.
How so?
Well, for example, healthcare should not be completely marketized because health is a basic right, not a luxury.
Continue.
Education should not be completely marketized because it determines social mobility and equal opportunity.
Anything else?
Justice, public safety, the environment, these should not go to the highest bidder.
But the problem is the quality of public services provided by the government is too poor. Rich people naturally want to buy something better.
You're half right. The problem isn't the market itself, it's that we have given up the effort to make public services good.
What does that mean?
When the rich can pay to escape terrible public services, they stop caring about the quality of those services. The poor are left to endure increasingly poor services while the rich retreat into a layer of paid protection.
Isn't this class stratification?
Yes, and it's irreversible, because when the rich no longer share the same system as the poor, they lose the motivation to improve that system.
So your point is that certain things must be forced to be used by everyone.
Not forced, but shared. A good society means people from different classes should meet in certain public spaces. Public schools, public hospital, public transport.
Why?
Because only sharing creates empathy, and only empathy creates a sense of community.
That sounds a bit idealistic, doesn't it?
Idealistic? Think about when you were a child, neighbors helping each other, kids playing together. Do you still remember that feeling?
I remember. There was certainly more human connection back then.
And now, living in the same building, but neighbors don't know each other. Why? Because we outsourced all of our needs to the market.
That's true. Takeout, delivery, housekeeping, anything can be bought.
It's convenient, but it's also isolating because a market relationship has no warmth, it only has transactions.
So, what are you trying to say?
Money can buy services but not care. It can buy sex but not love. It can buy a house but not a home.
That sounds a bit like a cliche, but it seems to be true.
This is not a cliche. This is common sense that you have forgotten.
What have we forgotten?
We forgot that some things can only be owned by giving. Friendship, you must give to receive. Trust, you must risk to gain. Respect, you must earn. You cannot buy it.
But who still believes that? Everyone says talking about money doesn't hurt feelings.
That's because feelings have already been hurt so badly that people use money to numb themselves.
You speak too harshly.
Harsh? Then I ask you one last question. If one day you are lying sick in bed, how much money can buy someone who genuinely stays by your side?
That can't be bought.
Correct. That's why my book's title isn't What Can't Be Bought, but What Money Can't Buy.
Is there a difference?
Of course. The former is a list. The latter is a reminder for you to think, to question, and to protect those things that shouldn't be priced.
So you're not against money.
I am never against money. I'm against letting money become the single standard for measuring everything.
One last question. If the audience could only remember one sentence, what would you want it to be?
The market is not innocent. It changes the nature of goods and it changes our values. We need to decide what should be bought with our money and what shouldn't, because once it can be bought, it becomes worthless. It doesn't just become worthless, it loses its meaning. When everything is for sale, we lose the ability to discuss what a good life is.
Then what is a good life?
The question shouldn't be answered by the market. It should be answered by you. And my mission is to help you reclaim the right to ask the question.
I see. What money can't buy isn't giving you the answer, it's teaching you how to ask.
You finally understand.
All right, everyone. That concludes today's interview. If you also want to know what exactly we are exchanging money for in this era, click subscribe, and we'll chat again next time.
Remember, in this era where everything can be bought, the most expensive things are precisely those that can't be bought.